Hey there, and welcome to this explainer. Okay, so today we're taking something that honestly might sound a little bit dry at first, basic workplace roles, and we're going to flip it into a high-stakes, super actionable playbook for your career. Whether you are literally fresh out of school, stepping into your very first role, or maybe you're just looking to bulletproof your professional reputation, we are going to decode the unspoken expectations of the workplace and show you exactly how to navigate them. So I want you to picture this for a second. You jolt awake, look at the clock, and boom, your stomach just completely drops. You have severely overslept. And as that massive hit of adrenaline rushes through you, it knocks something loose in your memory. Oh no, you completely forgot to finish that crucial task your boss asked for yesterday. Your mind starts racing, right? Like, is your career over? Are they going to fire you on the spot? It is a total panic-inducing nightmare. But here's the real truth. The workplace actually isn't about being perfect. It's all about how gracefully you manage the inevitable imperfections. All right, let's dive into our first section, basic rules of workplace survival. When you make that leap from a student environment into a professional one, the grading system changes entirely. You aren't just being graded on one big final paper anymore. You are actually being evaluated on your everyday consistency. Looking at the source material, it highlights three absolute fundamentals here: punctuality, attendance, and asking for leave. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's easy to feel like you're right back in grade school having to ask for a hall pass, but we've really got to reframe this. These aren't just arbitrary rules imposed by management to control your life. They're actually the currency of professional reliability. When you show up on time, maintain consistent attendance, and officially request time off instead of, just going MIA, you're communicating that you respect your team's time just as much as your own. You're signaling to everyone that you are a stable, reliable piece of the whole organizational machine. And that brings us to professional responsibility, which honestly requires a massive mental shift. Think about it. In school, if you missed a deadline, you took a hit on your own grade, right? The impact fell entirely on your shoulders. But out in the workplace, your deadline is almost always the starting line for somebody else's work. It's a chain reaction. So taking full ownership means recognizing that you're part of a much bigger interconnected ecosystem. Responsibility in this setting isn't just about trying really hard, it's about practically guaranteeing the final outcome. Because of that entire ecosystem we just talked about, meeting your deadlines is literally the heartbeat of business operations, and it is directly tied to your personal brand and reputation. Look, if you become known as the person who always delivers exactly when they say they will, your stock in the company is going to absolutely skyrocket. On the flip side, if you consistently let those deadlines slip, well, it really doesn't matter how brilliant you are, reliability is going to be unpredictable talent every single time. No contest. So what happens when things actually go wrong? Well, the student mindset usually defaults to hiding mistakes and just making excuses. I mean, we've all been there, right? Hoping the teacher somehow just doesn't notice we skipped half a page of questions. But the professional mindset? That is all about communicating early and offering immediate solutions. A real professional doesn't try to sweep a disaster under the rug. They shine a massive spotlight on it the second it happens, and they bring a mop. They offer a fix in the exact same breath that they announce the problem. Moving on to our next section, handling sudden absence and lateness. Because let's be real, no matter how incredibly responsible you are, life is just going to happen. Trains break down, alarms mysteriously silence themselves. So let's look at how your reaction to a crisis actually defines you rather than the crisis itself. When things go sideways, you need a concrete go-to emergency protocol. Step 1, notify your supervisor immediately. Seriously, do not wait until you are already 20 minutes late to send a text. The absolute split second you know there's a delay, you communicate. Step 2, provide an estimated arrival or return time. Don't just vaguely say you are running late. Tell them, I'm running late because of a major train delay, but I expect to be at my desk by 9:30 a.m. Give them actual data they can plan around. And finally, step 3, catch up on missed work. Look, the responsibility to bridge that gap falls squarely on you, so you need to actively figure out what you missed and get it done. Okay, but what about a nightmare that's even worse than just running late? What about realizing you completely 100% forgot a task your supervisor gave you? Oof, you can just feel the blood rushing to your face, right? The natural instinct is to absolutely panic, or maybe try to quickly throw together some sloppy, half-baked version just to save face. But remembering our professional mindset, we know that hiding it or scrambling to make excuses is literally the worst possible move you can make. To salvage a moment like this gracefully, you need a flawless action plan. Step 1, acknowledge the oversight early and just own it completely. Literally just say, I completely missed this, and that is entirely my fault. Step 2, propose an immediate solution. This is where you pull out that mop we talked about earlier. You tell them, I missed this, but I am blocking off my next 2 hours to focus solely on this project, and I will have a solid draft to you by noon. You see what you're doing there? You're taking control of the narrative. And finally, step 3, deliver the final result. You have to follow through on that promise absolutely flawlessly to rebuild the trust you just dinged. Look, if you remember absolutely nothing else from this explainer today, I want you to remember this one defining concept: owning results. It is no longer just about the sheer effort you put in, it is strictly about the actual results you deliver. When you truly step up and own your results, you stop being this passive participant in your career and you become the active driver of your own success. It is a total game changer. This fundamental, basic professional attitude is basically your master key. When you take absolute, unwavering responsibility for your results, and yeah, that means through both the big wins and the tough failures, you become incredibly resilient to whatever wild challenges the workplace throws your way. It guides you to always communicate clearly, to take real ownership, and to always, always find a path forward. At the end of the day, every single email you send, every deadline you hit or miss, every single time you handle a mistake, it is all building a narrative about exactly who you are as a professional. You have the playbook now, you understand the basic rules of survival, the true weight of taking responsibility, and exactly how to handle it when things inevitably go awry. But the choice of how to actually apply all this, well, that's entirely yours. So what kind of professional reputation are you going to start building today?